Welcome to Journey to Novelist. This channel is devoted to new writers and those writers new to pursuing the goal of becoming a published author. This video is part of our series of videos that we are looking at software that is designed specifically for novelists. We have been looking at software that is for under $60, that is for at least a year's worth of service. We've looked at a few of them. We've looked at Noveler, Novel Easy, Scrivener, and also a program called Contour, but that one's no longer available, so I took it off my list. Today we're going to look at a couple more. We're going to be looking at the Outlining Your Novel Workbook software, and we're going to take a quick look also at Plot Factory. Now, the Outlining Your Novel Workbook software is software that is based on a book called Outlining Your Novel by K.M. Weiland. And she wrote this book that follows a method of using what-if statements to develop your story and to go through this methodology where you figure everything out before you actually start writing. And the book's pretty good. I've read the book. It was interesting, and it did give me a lot of ideas on how to go about plotting a story. It is available in paperback still for about $12. You can also get it in some thrift stores because the book did come out way back in 2011. So it is still available. You can even get it on Amazon, and you can get it in the Kindle edition over there for, I think, like $5. So if you're interested in a book that helps you figure out how to go about plotting your novel, this is one that you might want to look at. They also have a Outlining Your Novel workbook, and this one she developed after the first book that kind of gave a step-by-step format for following her methodology of creating a plot and developing your story. So she made the workbook in about 2014, and you can also find this one still online, and it's about the same price as the Outlining Your Novel book. But that wasn't quite good enough, so she went and had somebody develop the software Outlining Your Novel workbook software. Now the software is basically this Outlining Your Novel workbook put in a digital format so you could use it to outline your novel. So I want to go ahead and take a look at that software. Let me go ahead and open that up here. And this is the software. See if I can snap this right into the screen here. And you'll see this is the demo of that she has in here. And you see we have what-if statements. So basically you can go and you can create a bunch of what-if statements for your story. And then some unexpected what-ifs. It's like, this is something that could happen, but that's kind of expected. These are completely unexpected things that could happen. And the book kind of explains what she means by all these. So if you have the book, this would make a lot more sense. And then you can go on through for developing a sentence that is your premise, situation, focus, conflict, and you can just basically walk through it, create a scene list, do the backstory and information on your various characters, give the characters descriptions and their part in the story, major, minor, protagonist, and antagonist. And you can just basically walk through all these different worksheets that she has in here for settings. You can develop your whole outline with all these story elements that take place. And then there's some extras here to help you out, like your cast of characters. But basically all of this is built on this workbook novel that you have, that you're basically filling things out, and as you fill out each one of these forms, you develop more and more information about your story. There is a way to make this larger, by the way. I can hit that and it is bigger. When you're dealing with your scenes, you can go about marking them as incomplete or good, or repositioning them. And whenever you come here, oops, one more over, connecting the dots, it will bring up all the incomplete scenes that you have. But that's sort of how the software works and what's contained within it. All very helpful if you find that kind of methodology something that you might like to follow. So that's the outlining your novel software. It is available for a one-time fee of $40, so that does fall within our $60 budget. It's available at the helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com location. I'll have the link, of course, in the description for the video. If you go to this support page here for the software, you'll find some videos about it and the link to where you can download. There is a Windows and a Mac version available. It's good to note that the software is not currently being updated. It was built on the FileMaker software, and it's not currently being updated at this time. So it is a one-time fee, and you can use it as long as it will still be compatible with your Windows or Mac version. So that is the Outlining Your Novel Workbook software. And if you read the book, I'm sure you could even find a copy at your library to look at if you're interested. And if that book is something that sounds like it might work for you, then you might want to check out this software. So let's move that over into our list of software we've looked at and move on to the next one, which is Plot Factory. And Plot Factory is actually an online version of software. And when you start, it comes up and it says welcome to Plot Factory, and allows you to import a project from either Scrivener or Word that you can use within Plot Factory. It does things like handling your general settings and your various stories, characters, places, objects, elements. All of this is included in there, as well as your universe and the bigger picture for your stories. So I actually have that open in a browser window. And as you can see, we have our dashboard that shows what we've worked on recently. So a universe and a story called Deck. It has different places here. Now it has character sheets here, but the character sheets is part of a premium version, so you can't create your own character sheets. I believe the same is true for most of the others for questionnaires. Now, importing, you can, like I said, import from Word or Scrivener. And then it points you to some master classes, and these are at the masterclass website. So let's go ahead into my stories, and you'll see I started a story here called Deck, and I was able to insert a little picture for my character. This would normally be maybe your cover art or something to make the story stand out. You can create a new story, or you can click on a story that you've already started and continue working on it. So within the story here, I have my chapters and scenes. I have a list of my characters, places, which I've not developed any places, some general information. I could write the summary here if I wanted to. I marked it as the genre as being fantasy. There's a list of genres here you can pick from. You have some information about creating plots, which you have to be a paid member for those. Here's your outline creation. And you can actually, when you go to create an outline, use a blank sheet, a 3-act plotting template, or a story beats template, or the premise worksheet. So you have those 3 options, and I picked the story beats plotting template. So you'll see I have opening image, theme stated, setup, and it has all the major plot points. That is pretty common for an outline. Here are the various elements. I can create an element, and it gives me properties I can make for that element. Here's objects. You can do the same. And with characters, if I open my character here, you'll see it asks for the role in the story, the occupation, and a bunch of different things, and you can add to this list. You can add a list, add a property. Maybe I have different races of creatures or something, and I wanted to put it in here. I could do that. But this is basically what Plot Factory looks like. There's a lot to explore here. The free version, if we go back and look at my spreadsheet over here, I'm going to go ahead and quit out of that program. There is a free basic version which allows you to have one story, one universe. You can change between light and dark mode, I believe. Automated backups, daily goal tracking, thesaurus lookup, and up to 250 word narrations. And that is narrating parts of your text, I believe. It does not limit you on how many words you can actually write in a day, but you can only have the one story and the one universe. There is ways to export your story. So after you're done with it, you could export it, I assume, delete it, and start another story. Now this is available at plotfactory.com. It is online. It's based in a browser, so you can basically run it anywhere you want. And so that is Plot Factory. Now, of these 2 programs, I think they both have their uses. If you want something more for tracking all your characters and want to be able to go anywhere with it, something new and modern that's still being updated, then Plot Factory. Especially if you're only working on one story. If you want something where you have a book and you could read through things, then you might want to look at the outlining your novel software. So we'll add both of those to our list of software that we've reviewed. Now, of these 5 that we have on this list so far, 3 of them have a free options, and Scrivener and Outlining Your Novel both fall under the $60 for a year's worth of use. So look forward to more videos on more software. I have a list of several more to look at, and I hope this video was helpful for you.